Hey footprinters, Chrissy here. Firstly, welcome to any new subscribers. We've got Daniel, Amelia and Cecilia have subscribed, and I've had a request by a Cecilia to please look at the state of Hawaii. I've also had requests to look at Southern California and New Jersey, so with regard to COVID-19. So I'm going to do that. And welcome to other new subscribers. Not everyone's name comes up when they subscribe, but if you do, I try to read it out. But I also welcome all those other new subscribers as well. Thank you very much for coming along and taking this journey with me. As you'll have seen if you've watched my other COVID-19 reports, I'm using the little deck of Kipper cards, a different system. I will use, got this cute little deck of tarot cards for clarification at the end, called the the tarot of pagan cats, and it's a really great little deck. I absolutely love it. It's a cute little Los Scarabeo one. So if I wanted to use any clarifiers with that, I'll use that. But, yeah, so for those of you who are new, I'm not a psychic, I'm not a medium, I'm not sensitive, I'm intuitive. So my intuition comes into a lot of reading, and yeah, so if you watch my last reading, there was something I read about a couple of the cards, and a few minutes later something else kicked in and it took me back to those cards to say, but it's also this. So that's sort of what I mean by intuitive. Something will pop into my mind and my intuition tells me to, go back and have another look. It usually means that what I originally said often still plays a part of it, but anyway. Now, because with Kipper and Norman and Sibylla cards, I've been learning them, so I use the little book, okay, for some of the cards. Some I'm learning because they keep coming up. Anyway, so I'm going to start first with New Jersey, the state of New Jersey, okay, and yeah, so I'm just Universal Spirit, Spirit Protection. So anyway, New Jersey, okay. Oh, it's interesting. A card flipped when I was shuffling this little deck, and a card flipped the other way, and it was a military person. That doesn't necessarily mean military action like National Guard or anything, but we'll have a look at it. Number 22. Is it? Number 22? Oh, that's the wrong book. Got to find the correct book there. Here it is. I have a little Lenormand book there too, and it was accidentally picked up the wrong book. This card is quite complex in its statement. It first and foremost represents people who wear uniforms in their profession, such as police, officers, firefighters, customs officers, or wear symbolic working clothes such as white coats and doctors. Has the quality to emphasize and underline the fact that shows cards in the card layout. Tells you that this particular matter is to be expected just so. This card represents security, stability and order, or it stands for the need for security. So that's interesting that that's popped up. Okay, so that's interesting. One of the reasons I like doing it state by state, I'm just going to put that to the side, state by state readings, is that I understand here in Australia, they just had the first ever national cabinet, they called it, where the Prime Minister and the senior ministers, the federal senior ministers, met with the premiers virtually and all the senior ministers for each state at once, and they all discussed as a group how best to tackle this as a nation and as a group. But of course we've got 6 states here and 2 territories, so it's a bit different. Met with the premiers and the chief ministers from, yeah. So it's a bit different from the US. So I'm going to leave that person out. We're looking at New Jersey. And I suppose what the cards say will give us some more of an idea of why that card popped out with regard to New Jersey. So this is the card that popped out and folded for New Jersey, military person. Okay? Okay. So the virus, the main person, a long way. Got a long way to go yet before there's a change. Okay, so we're doing two rows of free here. So for New Jersey, there's a long way to go for that state before things change for the better. It's looking like. I'll see if there's any time frame element to that card. But things will change eventually, but they've got a long way to go. Just depending on the question, this card represents a long path or a great distance or a longer period of time. The long period of time may relate to an illness or an uncomfortable situation. So, yes, New Jersey might be affected for longer than some of the other places before there's a change for the better. This is the main person. It's just started in New Jersey. The bulk of what has to happen is still ahead of them. Okay, it's still ahead of New Jersey. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it might be a bit of a longer journey to recovery and rebuilding from the virus for New Jersey. A journey, work, occupation, and gloomy thoughts. Now, unfortunately, it looks like New Jersey might be having a bit of a tougher time. The journey card is, you know, because it's aspected by that long way. It's, you know, it's transitional, but stand and ride a bus on a train. Further aspect of wanderlust journey. This card is a characteristic is somebody who cannot settle down. So the change card, it's you know, it's a transitional card, but even after the change, it's going to take a longer time. The top card is saying it's going to take a bit longer for New Jersey to go through this process with this virus. And afterwards, it looks like it's going to be a bit hard. It's going to take time for things to settle down. It's going to be a bit hard for things to settle down in the state. Gloomy thoughts, that's afterwards. The work occupation. Usually this includes professionals that require physical effort. All kinds of outside work, such as gardening. But yes, look, I think it's going to have quite a bit of a toll, unfortunately, on New Jersey. We've got working occupation professionals. It does refer to professionals in the book. Gloomy thoughts. Unfortunately, the gloomy thoughts are in front of the person. I think it's going to take quite a bit of a psychological toll on the area. To get past this toll is going to be a bit of depression. It's really going to take a toll, and it's going to be stormy, and it's going to take quite a while for the place to settle down. And yeah, and it's going to take a lot of hard work. I think medical professionals and mental health professionals are going to be kept pretty busy by the aftermath of this virus in New Jersey. And this is interesting that this came through, because things will eventually settle down and you will eventually feel more secure. This is the message. In the end, you will eventually feel more secure, but you still unfortunately have a long journey ahead of you for the people in New Jersey, maybe a bit longer than some of the other states. So I wish I could bring you better news, but yeah, I'll just ask, how savage will it be? Will it be very, it's looking like it could really be a bit, will it be hit New Jersey harder than some of the other places? We know that so far Washington State's been the hardest hit, but that's not necessarily going to mean it's going to remain the hardest hit. So let's see, will it hit New Jersey harder than some other places? What have we got here? Judgment. Yeah, there might be some judgment on how it's handled in the state. So maybe there might be some mismanagement. Two of Wands, look, they've got some plans in place. They've got some plans in place. They think they've got it all sorted. But yeah, it's not necessary. In terms of numbers, getting the Two of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, and Two of Wands. Yeah, it is going to hit hard. New Jersey is going to be hit quite hard when compared to some of the other states. Plans, they think they've got the plans all sorted, but something might go awry because they're going to be judged on it. Someone acting without honour and bringing more burden to the state. Yeah. So I think a lot of people are going to be very unhappy with state government. So I'm sorry to the person who asked. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong. But New Jersey looks like it's going to get hit quite hard. And there might be a little bit of mismanagement in there somewhere. And that it's going to be, you know, it's going to be affected for a bit longer than a lot of the other states. There will be a change, but it's really going to be hard for people to settle down afterwards. They're going to have a lot of mental health issues arise out of it, arise out of losing people, yeah. So I really wish I could give you some better news, but unfortunately that's not what it's saying. I hope I'm wrong. We should be sending out healing light to every state, every country that has it. Every time I do my prayers, and I just stopped doing my prayers a little bit earlier, I ask for healing light to encircle the globe. So, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you might be a bit hard hit in New Jersey by the virus. Okay. So, I wish I had better news for you there. Southern California. Now, somebody asked me for Southern California. It's getting hard to get water bottles. Oh, look, we still can't. We haven't been able to buy toilet paper for 3 weeks, And every time some comes into the shop, people are lining up in the morning and they run in and it just goes quickly. And if you, have jobs to go to and you can't stop and go first thing, and people, they've had to put limits on how much toilet paper you can buy. And people are buying out other things. They're buying out hand sanitizer, and they're buying every couple of days. The supermarkets come out and say, right, we're limiting this now as well. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. If you know people who are hoarding, tell them to stop it. It's destructive behaviour, and it's doing more harm than good. People going out and panic buying in the supermarkets. They're going to 3 or 4 different stores in some cases. They're exposing themselves even further to this virus, but also they're forcing other people to go to 4 or 5 different shops that they, more places than they would normally go to, and they're being exposed further because of it. So, yeah, hoarding, panic buying, yeah, it's not good. It's not a good thing to do. Okay, Southern California. California is such a big state that, yes, it could be completely different in Southern California than it is in the northern half of the state. So we'll look at southern half of California, and another day or so I'll look at the northern half of California. So, Southern California, what's going to happen there? I don't know what's going to happen with regard to it getting harder and harder for you guys to buy bottled water. Use tap water. Just use it. Buy filters if you can. Honestly, it's not going to hurt you to drink the tap water. It's probably got more minerals and everything that you need, that your body needs, than drinking the bottled water anyway. Because bottled water is sterilised. It's got all the minerals and everything taken out of it. So, natural water has a lot of minerals in it. Rainwater, creek water, it's stuff that you used to drink before plumbing and everything. It's got well water. It's got a lot of minerals and things in it that your body needs. So don't be afraid to drink tap water, unless there's a real reason. Don't stress over buying bottled water. Okay. Southern California, let's have a look there. No cards popped out, which is good. So let's have a look at what's happening with Southern California. Unexpected money. They might have a funding boost from somewhere. Rich girl, that's good news. Expectation. Sure illness. Good news. You've got better cards. A court person. You have better cards than New Jersey as far as the illness goes. This court person in the end, that's interesting. So we're starting here with the unexpected money, which is good news. That's not necessarily money that they're talking about. It could be good news. Sometimes it's also given. This card also stands for contracts and general business matters. So unforeseen joy over money. I think this is to do with business in general. Maybe a lot of businesses are expecting to go broke over this, and that's not necessarily what is going to happen. The rich girl is also it's a good card. Okay, so we've got unexpected money here. We've got rich girl, which is a card of good news. So yeah, that's a good card to have. Good news, and you know, this card portrays a time in which everything is working out and in which the joy of life plays the main role. If it's surrounded by bad cards, it diminishes the effect. So this is next to expectations, okay? It's another time card which tells you that something might go on for 3 more months, okay? It says you are wishing for something that is either material or immaterial and natural. Well, of course, everyone's wishing for this virus to go through. So it's definitely going to be hanging around for another 3 months. And it also can refrain you from jumping the gun and panicking about things. Short illness. Look, in the terms of things, 3 months is not a long time. It's relatively short. I think because of your wonderful climate there, it might take a bit quicker to recover from it than in some of the other places. And that helps. Rich, good gentleman. Again, that's another good card to have. In any combination, this card can be understood as a lucky charm. It tells you that a fast and good solution is possible, even if the card layout as a whole is unfavourable. Well, you don't really have an unfavourable one so far for Southern California. I think that, you know, you're looking at a 3-month time period, but, you know, and yes, you will get people who do get sick. Unfortunately, a illness like this, it can kill people, and I'm not going to say nobody's going to die, because unfortunately I think people are. But if you do survive and all that, you've got a great climate there. Utilize it. Once you're over the worst of it, get outside, get into the fresh air, get into the sunshine. Those things are good for you. But I'm not a doctor, okay? So always listen to your doctor first. But you might be, because where you are, it might be easier to get over the effects of it. But again, I'm not a doctor. That's just, it seems to be, when you do get it, you might get over it a bit quicker. That's what that's saying. That the illnesses associated might be shorter than normal. 30, a court person. Now that's interesting. What's that there? This can also mean that things can come to a bit of a standstill. So that's why I'm checking the book, because as I said, I'm, still learning these cards. So I double checked with this thing, and it's not just a short, it can represent a short illness. It shows serious discomfort which will not last long if fortunate cards are lying nearby, and fortunate cards are lying nearby. It is important to take persistent symptoms seriously and have them thoroughly checked out if they do not disappear within a short space of time. Always listen to that. And it can also be, another possibility is that you become incapacitated because things come to a standstill. That might mean for a short while things can come to a bit of a standstill with businesses or infrastructure or something. But I think it's, yeah, that could be a situation that you've generally got pretty good cards here. So listen to the main message of that. Do not ignore symptoms, okay? You might get over it quicker than some other place, but do not ignore symptoms, you know. Now, let's have a look at card number 30, the court person. This is the judge with the little fella sitting on his, these are German cards, so this is a little German gnome, I think, sitting on his shoulder. Card certainly represents people that are generally associated with courts, solicitors, state attorneys, lawyers, police officers, notaries and bailiffs. However, the circle of people is bigger than that. It may include driver's license examiner, a person who decides about a training course, a politician, a tax investigator, insurance agent, someone who decides on expected benefits. This card can also indicate that you are going to be pressurized and that someone is going to make a demand for which you have to acquiesce. This card can represent disputes. So somewhere in the future, there's going to be a bit of an argy-bargy, bit of conflict, okay, coming out of the coronavirus. It could lead to, maybe companies being caved. It could lead to class actions. I'm going to ask that. So this last card, could this mean class action against somebody? Maybe for some people getting sick when they didn't really, because of circumstances. Could it be a class action against somebody? Eight of Cups is a no. Three of Wands is a yes. Two of Swords is a maybe. Yeah, I think that maybe there's going to be a group of people who really felt abandoned for some reason, and they're going to take a class action. They're going to make that decision to take a class action. So this is a maybe and a yes and a no. So these two trump the no. And there will be some sort of class action taken from a group within the community in Southern California. But overall, as far as time-wise, you've got pretty good, maybe more people will recover. More people have recovered than died from this thing, but people are still dying. But overall, you're looking at the time frame of the next few months. Somebody mentioned, I think the head scientist or the head medical scientist for Australia said, what we have to remember here is that the US and all that, they're coming out of their winter. We're going into our winter, so we could have a big surge of it in a few months. So even more than we have now. But our numbers have doubled in the last couple of days. So anyway, this is Southern California. Generally, it's good news overall, and you're looking at hopefully 3 months before things start to, the worst of it, for it to peak and then start draining away. That'll have happened by the time 3 months happens. But there could be some class action in the future associated to the COVID virus. So that is at Southern California. Now, the last state that I've been asked to look at is Hawaii. Now, I haven't had a chance to go and look at the numbers or anything for this for the States in the US at the moment. I just thought, well, I'll do this and get this done quickly because I'm back at work tomorrow from my last week of work, and then my contract stops. You know, people get there's going to be a lot of people inconvenienced. Our inconvenience, well, you know what? It's not really an inconvenience. Our cruise got cancelled, so what? You know, we were planning on going on a cruise. It's cancelled, but, you know, people are dying. We're getting a full refund, so it's like, and even if we were getting a cruise credit later on, you know, people are dying. So having a cruise cancelled, that's not really an inconvenience, you know? Just, oh, well, you know, so think about if you have had things happening because of, you know, you've had to cancel this or that. Sometimes it is a really big deal, and sometimes it's something like, I'm not saying it's not pain in the ass. It's a minor annoyance as far as I'm concerned. My health and my husband's health matters more than anything. And so, in the grand scheme of things, if some people just whine about things having cancelled, well, so what, you know? It's, people are dying. It helps you put it into perspective. Yeah, so I'm not worrying about it. No, we're not going to rebook it or anything like that. We're just like, well, go, give us the money back. We've got other uses for it now anyway. We've got places we can better use it than it can, you know, going on another cruise. So, you know, so no comments. Oh, sorry, your cruise got cancelled. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay, so we are looking at the state of Hawaii now. Sorry, I don't even know why I mentioned the cruise thing, because it's not an issue. So, God, you know, my mum is 78 years old. Just added 10 years to it. 78 years old. She's diabetic. She has health problems, other health problems, and to me, I'm more worried about. I want to go visit her later in the year, but I'm not going to go and visit her while there's a chance that I could take this virus to her. I'm more worried about my mum being exposed and catching it than I am about, you know, something that's not really an issue. So, you know, it's something that isn't really an issue or an annoyance or whatever. Have a think about perspective with regard to your family. So, not that I don't think any of you all would be doing that, because I do believe, you know, you all would be, you know, people who would think that way. So it's, yeah, people first, health first, good of others first. Oh, Italy. I have to say, if you've not seen the clips from Italy, you know, because of their buildings and all that, how close together, they're all getting out on their balconies and they're all singing to each other. Like, this balcony will have someone coming out and she's got her family members who play a band, and she's singing opera to people, and everyone's coming out on their balcony, and apparently they're doing it all over Italy. Follow Italy. Don't fight with each other. Sing to each other. Wonderful, wonderful. Anyway, the state of Hawaii. Let's have a look at them. Work and occupation. Very, very busy. Working very hard. Court again. Bereavement. Oh, gloomy thoughts. House. And high honours. Oh, that unfortunately is not the best of spreads. They're working really, really hard. They're working really, really hard to try and, rein this in. Court is 23 here. This is a different one from the person in court. This is court itself. This card indicates that you will get involved with the authorities or a notary. The adjacent card will tell you more about this particular authority. Can have a completely different meaning to that. It can mean a balance may be created or needs to be created. This is shown whenever giving and receiving have gotten out of balance or energies are not flowing properly. They're working hard, but I think there's a bit of mismanagement here with this bereavement. Unfortunately, that's pretty self-explanatory, that card. Again, I'll look at it. You cannot go on as before. You have to rethink your current situation. I think that there might be a bit of mismanagement of the situation happening in Hawaii at the moment. The card itself does not show the death of the person or animal. The basic statement is considered to be negative. Things are not being handled well. They're not going to handle things well. There's a lot of toing and froing. People are working hard, but the government, I think, is not handling well. The Hawaii government. It's going to be a very gloomy time for everyone in Hawaii. Gloomy thoughts, very depressing time. People are going to, people are going to really be thinking the worst here. The card expresses gloomy thoughts. You are mulling over a lot of things and are feeling discouraged and puzzled. So we've got the house here, 20, and I'll look at that. This card represents a house, an apartment building, a building or an apartment or a garden. Further stands for possessions and general material values. It is an indication of stability, domesticity, and a balanced personality. A person with such a personality would experience difficulties when changing places of job. The card symbolises your heritage, family home, the original family, the family clan. It also stands for the need for security and self-confidence. If a question is okay. Look, again, it's not looking too good for Hawaii. There's just not that stability there with how it's being handled by the government. I think health, some people are working hard to try and do it right, but there's too much other toing and froing, maybe too much interference from elsewhere. They can't continue to do it, but I don't know, they have to change their approach and what they're doing. The last card we've got here is High Honours. So again, I wish I could have a cheerier outlook for you guys. Things are progressing. Yeah, this card says that something is taking a turn for the better. Okay. Unfortunately, Hawaii is going to have to go through a little bit of crap with this virus and with mismanagement of this virus before there's a return to some stability and things turn for the better. Okay. Yeah. I do think that there's some mismanagement. I don't know, even some corruption maybe in this. there are always people out there who are going to be looking to make a quick buck out of anything. So, is there government corruption in Hawaii with the some corrupt officials looking to make money out of the virus? So I'll ask that question. Or is it just bad management? Queen of Wands, investigations. Two of Cups. Four of Pentacles. No. Yeah, maybe. There will be some investigations. It could be a maybe. There might be some investigations into the way it was handled in Hawaii. Is this corrupt? Is this more government interference than corruption? Let's have a look. Ask that question. There's going to be some investigation. Is it actually more government mismanagement? Nobody likes to think that people in their government are going to take advantage of something and try and make money out of something so tragic as this. This is mismanagement. No. It's not mismanagement, it is corruption. Yeah, somebody's trying to pull off some magic tricks. There's the 7, so we've got the Magician, we've got the Devil, and we've got the 7 of Swords. It's not mismanagement. These are 2 no cards, the Devil and the 7 of Swords. Yeah, it's someone trying to get away with making money off the back of this thing. Wow. That's what I was reading on the second card here. I'll ask one more question, and it's away from this. I'm going to ask one more question to Hawaii. Will things in Hawaii have settled down by July? The World, that's a yes. 6 of Cups is a yes. And the 7 of Wands. Seven of Wands is a no. But somebody's going to stand up and defend. Somebody's going to stand up and face things and say, no, look. But the 2 of this, I asked, will things have settled down by July? We've got 2 yeses and a no. I think somebody's going to stand up and get the ball rolling on this. And in the meantime, yes, things are going to settle down. This is going to come to an end. When I say settle down by July, I don't mean will it have all disappeared by July. I mean that it'll be, things will be better. It'll be managed better. It might have reached its peak. It might not have disappeared, but it might have reached its peak by July. Again, I wish I could have better news for you guys in Hawaii, but it is, you know, hang in there. Look after yourself. Look after your health. Go and get what you need, but don't deprive others. Okay? We got some extra vitamins and stuff, but we didn't empty the shelves or anything. So go and get what you need to keep yourself well, but don't deprive others. And, you know, I know there is a large homeless community in Hawaii. Thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who's battling this, okay? I hope that the homeless community in Hawaii get the help they need as well, okay? Anyway, look, footprints. I really wish I'd had better news for two of the states, but yeah, looks like they're going a bit rough. Thank you for hanging in with me for this quite long video, and for listening to my lectures. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye bye.